Simon, 4 wins on the trot, 4 tries for Lackland Wanderers today. A pretty foursome performance for a 60-0 win against Whitehaven. What are your thoughts on that one?
Wow. Yeah, good. Obviously nice to rack up a number of points. I thought we were, without being disrespectful to Whitehaven, I thought we started the game well, and then when you get dominant and you're that dominant, there's so many opportunities. I thought we lacked a bit of patience at times. And tried to force it a bit rather than getting them on the next play. I think we'd have had a few more points in that first half had we done that, but yeah, that leads into the second half. Happy with it. We got the 0. The message at half time was basically, I'm not really bothered if we score another point, but we need a 0. Just because we'd been up a number of times at half time last week, obviously, to which we got a bit slack and let them back in the game, and I'm glad we did that better this week. And also it gives an opportunity to try a couple of stuff. Took Cav off at the last 8 minutes or so and played with 12 and a couple of bits in between, and obviously freshened a few bodies up last week and some this week, and then got some different faces out there. So on the whole, yeah, a good 2 points.
Were the changes with that in mind, not necessarily people injured, but just rotating the squad with the big games we've got coming up in mind?
Yeah, well, we've got 3 in 12 days, and obviously this one against Saints, the way they play and the Super League full time, it'll be a physical sort of game, and yeah, we've got fit bodies, so why not roll it around and give people opportunities to take a claim, because I think for where we are now in the year, we can't. I don't want to be I almost got swapping and chopping at the same time mix, but yeah, we don't want to be mixing up too much and making too many changes for the sake of things. We're getting to now where the team, I think, is starting to take shape as a 17. That will end up being the 17 for a while until, you know, form or injury changes that. So everyone's getting a bit of a look at it at the minute, and you know, they give some headaches, I suppose.
Everyone got the hat in the ring for the try scoring as well today. I know ones that scored 4, but there were quite a different range of try scoring. How pleasing is it to see the attacking capability we finally got?
Yeah, it's been there all along, and we've done it in patches. I thought we were just dominant and looked after our game in the first 20 with our defence, which give us the opportunity to play a bit more. And there are a few training ground stuff in there, and you get a chance to do that, because when you're dominant, it's not particularly difficult or taxing, should I say, energy-wise. So everyone's a little bit more present. They're not blowing, and their minds aren't wandering. We can play a little bit. There's some nice stuff in amongst training ground type stuff, to say. But yeah, I'm not too bothered about them scoring on the last blade of grass ones. I like the ones where we get caught on a shift, we make someone make an awkward tackle and get it quick. It's the next ones, because that's the big moves are planned for. The ones after that are not. That's playing rugby. That's playing somewhat off the cuff and turning up for each other. That's what I think we're really good at, and we got a bit of that out there today, which we're good.
Do you think that's good preparation for Saints next week, because they play a very structured game? Do you think we might have some joy if we do play a bit off the cuff against their defence?
Yeah, yes and no, but I think if we do play off the cuff, we can't be knocking on play 1 and 2 like we did a number of times today, because you will get burnt. You know, we're not going to roll over. We know we're up against it. The world champions, so they're going to be good whatever team turns out for them. But I do think it's an opportunity for us to grab that underdog tag that I think we've probably lost in recent years by doing pretty well in the league competition. So yeah, definitely underdogs this week, and we'll embrace that, and hopefully we'll have a look at them. I'm not going to treat them any different to anyone else. We'll have a look, we'll come up with a plan. We're not just going to make it up. We'll come up with a couple of stuff that we think we can trouble them with, and we'll hopefully all buy into that and see where that takes us, and hopefully we can make it a contest.
The last home game in the league for quite a while before I go on the road. How happy have you been with our home form so far this season?
Well, we've done well, haven't we, at home? We've won them all at home.
I think Bradford we've lost.
Bradford, yeah. Apart from that one, yeah, we've done alright. Yeah, this happens every year. It's not alien to us. On the road trips start now, and it's one of them's Bash, I suppose, so that changes it. One's a trip to Toulouse, which hopefully will be quite nice. Hopefully get a decent following to that one. But I think we just got an important patch coming up. The table's not quite splitting yet, I suppose. We talk about this get a third of the way, and it starts looking a bit like it's going to be, and the teams start pulling away. But I think it's all to play for everyone, really. And I think the 6 is probably going to come down to the very last couple of rounds this year. But you know, for us, we want to make sure we're part of that group when it splits, that are in the in the hunt for the top end of the table, not trying to catch up on them. So we just need to stick to what we've been doing last few weeks pretty well, and just tighten up a few areas, and I think we'll be in good shape.
You mentioned those two teams, Toulouse and Batley, who are our next two league games. We are joint third with Toulouse, above Batley, just below Toulouse. Two massively important games. How are you thinking going into those two games? Are you happy with where we are?
Table wise, I don't look at it, to be honest. Faz surprised me last week. He said we're joint fifth, and I no idea. I've not been looking at it. I know there's a couple of teams out in front. I know there's a couple near the bottom, and I know we're in that mix, which is quite broad in the middle. Approaching them games, Batley, we play them 3 times this year. They're difficult games. They're a good team. They play a pretty structured way, and they do not go away. They keep doing it, so you've got to be on all the time. So that's a really big test for us coming up at Bash. And then we get the trip to Toulouse. Toulouse have been indifferent, haven't they? Just as we have. I think there's the expectation there that coming out of Super League they should be wiping the floor with everyone, but I'm not really sure how it works. But I know it's like if you got promoted to Super League, there's a lot of change that has to happen, and when you get out the bottom end of Super League, there's a lot of change that comes off back of that. So they're probably just finding their feet still. And again, what are their aspirations? We all expect them to be at top, but are they pushing for that this year? I don't know what they're doing as a club, but they've certainly got some quality that could be in the mix at the end of the year. And I'm sure this bit they're going through at the moment, back-to-back losses, it's not a forever thing. So we'll have to be good, but a good performance against Saints, followed by Batley, puts you in a good position when you get there. So we'll worry about it when we get there. We'll worry about the World Champs first.
Lastly, in terms of the game day experience today, community day, I saw you in the stands watching the Masters game before the game as well. Loads of junior sides there. How pleased to see the community embracing?
Yeah, very good. I think we've done quite well this year on that. I think it's just keeping that going and coming up with different stuff to keep them entertained. While the rugby is great, I think it's those stuff around it that people enjoy and remember as well. So we'll try to do our bit on the field. If we can keep doing a bit off, maybe we keep these people engaged for a longer period.